as a woman, you can't afford to have casual sex. You cannot, because it's too much at risk, as you've just said. It is. And to even have to think about, oh, she's like, okay, well, you have two decisions to make. Two decisions if you're having casual sex with some guy that already told you, I am not going to be nobody daddy. He already told you that. And you still choose to have casual sex with this individual.
You have to have some discipline. So there's a part of me, I advocate for men, but there's a point where I'm like, okay, dude, you bought a ticket for that train. All these dudes with my baby mama crazy. Well, she wasn't crazy for that 30 seconds or however long you went. Like, you have to be selective too, because your body's not in danger per se, but your finances, your mental stability, and your well-being is at stake. Hey guys, we're back with another video. Enough said, Meet Simmons. Today we got a video from tonight's conversation. They're discussing accountability for a woman when she becomes pregnant by a man who doesn't want the child. So, interesting stuff here. Let's jump right in.
Tells her that he is not ready to have a child. She still chooses to have the baby.
Okay, so a lot of times we need to take accountability for our actions and our own choices. And so we both was messing around. We knew we weren't in a committed relationship. We knew nothing was gonna come of it. You expressed to me already that you did not want to have a child, or you did not want to take care of a child. At that moment, I have a choice. You can go down to the clinic. I don't know where y'all's is at. Ours is on 8th. Or you make that decision on being a single mother and knowing that this other party is not going to be there. So that anger is misplaced. Because he was honest in the beginning. And it's hard sometimes to take accountability because we both did it, right? So you think we both should be in this, but the reality and the harsh reality is a man does have an opportunity to walk away, and you need to make the best decision for you and your child.
There's always this conversation that we have amongst ourselves as men and amongst women as themselves about accountability when it comes to things like this. Now, in this situation, she's talking about a man who has literally told a woman, "I don't want anything to do with a child if we are to get pregnant." I think that, and I've discussed this amongst other groups of people I know, I think that a woman has a lot more to lose in a sexual transaction than a man, and it always will be that way, because you have to carry the child, you have to put your life in danger, you have to lay on the table, have that child, or you have to go and do the deletion. Either way, you have a lot more skin in the game than a man. He's gonna do what he does, and he can either walk off, and he can walk off. You can get it for child support. Yeah, he can lose financially, but you literally could lose your life as a woman. And so I don't understand why women are so reckless these days with their body, who they give it to, who they allow inside of them, because it is definitely more dangerous, in my opinion, for a woman to allow the wrong man inside of her. That's just me. What do you think?
I think she's talking to the thoughts. She's talking to the 304s.
I was like, what thoughts? Go ahead.
Oh, you know thoughts.
Oh, God, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I'm going there. That's what she's talking to, because as a woman, you can't afford to have casual sex. You cannot, because it's too much at risk, as you've just said. It is. And to even have to think about, oh, she's like, okay, well, you have two decisions to make. Two decisions if you're having casual sex with some guy that already told you, I am not going to be nobody daddy. He already told you that. And you still choose to have casual sex with this individual. So your two choices are, one, go to a clinic, and you know what that means. Or two, you can go ahead and be a single parent. You know, the thing that's prevalent in our community. I'm just saying. Or three, have some discipline. I know that's a hard word and a hard concept, but that's how you have to think about this as a woman. You have a womb, and when a man enters your body, you have the risk of either some sort of disease or getting pregnant. It's really simple. We went over biology. I remember going over sex ed in school. It's not hard. But we don't think like that, because you just want to do what you want to do, and it's just okay.
Yeah.
But there's no consequences in our minds. Or are there? Yes, there are.
But let's be honest, there's no consequences in our society either.
No, none. That's the problem.
There's always a safety net there for women who allow this to happen. And on the flip side of that, for the men, you need some sexual discipline too. This is ridiculous. Just running up in a woman that you don't care about, you don't want to do with her, and you don't. Most of the time, you only halfway like her. You just want to bust one. Like, that is just animalistic, and it's something that a lot of people don't talk about. You have to have some discipline. So there's a part of me. I advocate for men. But there's a point where I'm like, okay, dude, you bought a ticket for that train. All these dudes with my baby mama crazy. Well, she wasn't crazy for that 30 seconds or however long you went. Like, you have to be selective too, because your body's not in danger per se, but your finances, your mental stability, and your well-being is at stake. It's not good for you spiritually. Yeah. And a lot of men are walking around here thinking they just do whatever they want to do because they got money. Or I can afford to have a child. Okay, well, can you be there for it though? Can you be there for the child? Can you properly raise this child under the same roof? Can you even deal with this woman that you're having a child with that you really don't know? And so there's so many videos floating around there, about these bitter baby mamas and stuff like that. But man, don't park your car in the wrong garage. How about that? Yeah. One of my good friends says, don't stick it in crazy. It's simple. These are simple rules. These are things that my dad told me right out as a young man. Don't mess with no crazy woman. Don't mess with no crazy women. Do crazy stuff in the bed, that's great, but they're not something you want to have a child with, have to deal with for 18 to 20 years. It's just that simple. And I think we've gotten so convoluted with this hookup culture, and just everybody just wants to just feel good, always feels over reels. But the reality is that in those transactions, you have an opportunity to impregnate someone, and that can derail your entire life.
Yep.
How many stories we just see? How many good men we see get messed up in divorce court? How many young men we see that have a bright future that get pregnant, get the wrong one pregnant, and then they're derailed? How many athletes in our community have you seen get the wrong girl pregnant and then they had to give up their dreams to go raise this child? Like, it's a detriment, and you're giving it all up for sexual pleasure, and you have no discipline. I'm not saying you can't have sex, you just gotta have discipline. It's simple. It's just that I don't understand why we've got to the point now where you can't even say the words sexual discipline. You can't even say watch who you sleep with. But you judge it. What?
Yeah, I'm judging. I show enough fam, and it's a hot mess. And then you want someone, ladies, to feel sorry for you. Oh, I'm a single mom and I'm doing all this work all by myself. Well, homeboy already told you, and he ain't gonna be nobody daddy. Mm-hmm. So you were on your own from the get. Once he pulled out, that was it. He was done. Yeah. He told you. And you mad. I don't understand.
Yeah, and then you're mad, angry, and then you want to make his life a living. You know what? Okay, well, what does that do for the child? It does nothing for it. It makes you feel better because you get a check from every month, or you get to go over his house and make his current girlfriend upset or wife upset. But what does that do for the child? It does nothing. And so you have a community of men and young ladies that are raising these dynamics, and then we wonder why we're so off kilter. We wonder why we can't get ourselves together. And then we get upset and want to blame everybody else, but we never look at ourselves.
What conversations as a parent are you having with your children? Are you even having them? Or are you just letting social media raise your kids? I really want to know what conversations are happening in the home, because there needs to be that talk, not just the birds and the bees, but let's have some real life scenario. Let's have some real discussion. Are y'all talking to your kids?
No, they're not. Well, because it's hard to talk about something that you're living.
I was about to say, because then that would cause accountability, and I got to change how I'm living in front of my kids. So,
absolutely. And so when you are raising a single parent mother at home, and then you become a single mother, it's like, okay, it's Tuesday. That's what's happened. Yeah. That's what's happened, and nobody likes to talk about that. But that's really what has happened, and it has been such a detriment to so many of us and to so many people that we actually made it a good thing. People wear single motherhood like it's a cape.
Like it's a badge
of honor. You know, I'm a single mother and I'm out here doing. Why are you making things harder?
I would love to be on a panel with some real kids that grew up in a single parent home. Not these ones that be all coming to the rescue of mama, or they're not saying nothing about my mama. You know what I'm saying? My mama was there for me with whatever. I'm talking about some kids like myself that went through the pitfalls of being in a single parent home, and be honest about what crap you went through and how tough it really was. And if you had your choice, you would love to have mom and dad there. Don't play with me. All this little stuff that we doing in our culture now, man, whatever.
It's all a lie.
I'm done.
Because they come and they sit and we talk to them. Mm-hmm. It's obvious to see, you know, where things went wrong. I talked to so many young men. They're lost. They legitimately will get into a relationship with a woman just so she will tell them what to do. They don't know what to do.
Yep.
If you have not seen something, how can you model it? It's just that simple. If you don't know what a man, how a man moves, acts, and does, what are you going to model it after? What's around you? What's around him? Feminine energy, TV, guys on the street corner, in the hood. Those are the things that surround that young man. And then he's trying to make his way through life, and he's struggling.
Yeah.
Then we wonder why he's struggling. You want to get mad when somebody like me says, hey, you're struggling because your daddy wasn't around. Mama did everything she could. Yeah, she did everything she could, and it wasn't enough because she can't raise a man.
Yeah.
Point blank, period.
That's just the truth.
This conversation is never going to end. It's going to keep going around because people are not going to stop having sex. They're not going to stop having sex before marriage. They're not going to stop having raw sex. They're going to keep doing what they're doing because people want to do what they want to do. However, if you're a young man or you're a young woman out there and you're watching this video and you want something different, you want better for yourself, you want a good, stable family, then you got to go against the grain. You got to be countercultural. And if you're not willing to be countercultural, then go with everybody else and go down that road and don't be surprised when you run smack into a brick wall. But if you really want to build something and you really want a great life, you have to be countercultural. Because our culture right now is trash. And anybody got a problem with that, prove me different. But young man, young woman, if you want something different, do something different.
And with that,
that's enough said.
it.